The first thing I want to touch on is understanding and preparing for this to be a long road. The COVID-19 wave, there'll be the second wave, possibly the third wave, and all the evidence suggests that until a vaccine comes out, we could continue seeing this. So if I could just throw that one suggestion out there, it's the thing that's helping me cope with it, and I'm hoping that idea could work with you. So it's definitely a marathon, it's not a sprint. So you'll find more strength in preparing for the long haul. So the second thing I wanted to mention, and I'm seeing this every single day with folks inside the company, outside the company, people with strong ethics and values, there's probably no more important time than right now for people to stick to their ethics and stick to their values and principles. Because what I've realized is that the people that are very wavering with their principles and values and ethics based on the situation, which I like to call selective ethics, like they change their mind back and forth based on selfish needs, they're the folks that become too self-consumed in their own needs, and it produces unhappiness, and it also results in not being a strong leader for the people that you're serving. So just being steadfast with your values is really critical at this point. And then the third thing is to try to think of all the hell that we're going through right now as it's going to produce scars, but those scars that are challenging right now, they're going to set the occasion for you to never put yourself in the situation that you're in right now. That's the key. So I know that my scars that I have, which are many, with bankruptcy, divorce, not being able to see my family for a while, living in the bus station, all the things that have hit rock bottom for me, I put all these mechanisms in place to learn from them so that I can minimize the chances of that ever happening again. And it made me feel stronger about my values and convictions, and it doesn't matter if I have $0 in my pocket or $1 million in my pocket, the values stay the same. So these scars, the turbulence in your life right now can really propel you in the future. Just getting through it now is critical. When it comes to long haul, I wanted to speak a little bit about the idea that the way interviews eventually, when they occur in person, went to prepare for the long haul and the long road until the vaccine is out, and even that will take a while. I would say for the next 1.5 to 2 years, we want to really consider the whole way that we change how we interact in the workplace, which I know is already starting to happen. So once it is safe, depending on where you live, we've already, Pierre and I and Carly and Heather and our teams already brainstormed about ways to make people safe when interviewing does occur in person, when people are ready for that. And the first couple suggestions that we're going to implement, and we just want to share this with you guys in case you find this to be valuable in selecting people within your organization that have similar values. The first is, instead of being able to observe someone on site like we were doing for a while, we used to watch how they interacted with a learner. Now, one strategy would be for a new applicant to record themselves in their home for just 10 seconds, reinforcing the behavior of someone in their home, hopefully even within 6 feet. So at least you know you've been exposed to that person and they're not a risk to you. So yeah, you can, what we're hoping to do is get a 10-second clip of people, they send it in, and we can look at how robust the reinforcement was, how authentic it was. It doesn't mean it's going to be praised, because there are different functions. It might be reinforcement of escape or something like that. I know Marlene likes when I leave, so I get out of her way and she's happy. So like that could be an example of something I'm going to record and send. So secondly, when someone submitted the pre-interview video, it's going to be critical, in my opinion, and the CDC evidence is that they report out a couple things to you vocally or verbally, and It could even be on a pre-interview survey where they complete a checklist of items the CDC recommends, like have you been in close contact with anyone within 6 feet within the last 14 days that has a confirmed COVID? Are you experiencing any symptoms, listing them to remind them, and then taking their temperature upon entering the building when you do start doing the physical interview. So once an individual enters the building and you are going to do these interviews, we want to take it probably to a whole nother level so that people feel safe and that they are safe and then our people are safe for interviewing. And the first suggestion is going to be that we're actually going to literally have someone open the door for someone in the front, because that front door is always closed. Open it, have them walk in, anything they touch are going to be behind them sanitizing it. That's after doing a full sweep prior to it and sanitizing everything and loading up on those supplies. That'll add to the safety and the comfort of knowing that whatever they touched was already sanitized afterwards. It's a little bit overboard, but I think it'll make us all feel better. Not touching the door handles whenever possible. So what we're going to do is make sure this door is already propped open, each door is open, and I think it would be great eventually. Have you seen those doors? They're all electronic. You wave something and then it opens, or it's even got a little handle where you use your feet. Yep. Yeah, and there's even some in restaurants now that have it like a hook so you don't touch it with your hands. We'll probably look at all those changes. Again, I hate the word new normal, but it's going to create a lot of change to make people feel safe. What we're going to do is, if the person didn't come with a mask, we're actually going to be curious to see if they did or didn't come with a mask. We're not going to say do it unless you're watching this and then you know what our trick is. So we're not going to say come with a mask and protective gear. We're going to have it with us, and it's going to be if the person comes with these materials, that means they're well prepared. If they don't, that'd be a little concerning. If they come to an interview and they're already breaking CDC guidelines, it's not something you really want. So we're going to have these things vacuum packed and sealed in plastic and sanitized, and then they'll see that it's a brand new mask. So it's not something that's been worn by multiple people. And then number 5, obviously no handshaking when we do these interviews. And number 6, we're going to avoid completing papers and handing them back and forth. So again, the workplace will change drastically, and I think DocuSign is like one of those awesome things. Also, shout out to Central Reach. They have a system where everything's electronic and you're not passing applications back and forth. Hit the like button, please, and then hit the bell, because the bell will notify you when new videos come out.